no 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 no.
So we are on page Gimel, 6 lines from the top, beginning with the word Bebchinas Yitzia, Vizgalus Merucha Shel Meish. Explaining the difference between the term Oir and the term Atzilus. So we explained that Oir is the eternal recognition of the Etzem. Atzilus is the external recognition of the Etzem. And as we explained, that the Inyan of Chutz Li'atzmusei, since there is no reality, Chutz Li'atzmusei, in literal terms, there's no such thing as Chutz Li'atzmusei. Therefore, what it means, as he said, Bechines his galus. It is the recognition of the Oir without recognizing the Etzem. Normally, the Oir, as it is within the Etzem, when you say Mina Yubei, we recognize the Oir simultaneous with the Etzem. On the contrary, you recognize the Oir because it is part of the Etzem. You recognize the Etzem in its fullest, to its fullest, and thereby you recognize that there is Oir. This galus the Oir of the Etzem. The Oir, due to the fact that this is an Etzem, as we discussed at length. Chutz Li'atzmusei is when you recognize the Oir without taking into account the Etzem.
This is the Eibishter's recognition?
This is the Eibishter's recognition as to how the Oir identifies itself.
In both cases. It's Eibishter's point of view in both cases. A recognition is just a word that we have to use here. We can't really apply it.
You were troubled by the fact that there was no one to be recognizing this? Is that the problem?
No, I just
So
want
what
to
then?
know. I want to know.
Okay, so you may not know. The point is what element of the Oir is recognized? What element of the Oir do we refer to when you say Oir? When you say Atzilus? The element of the Oir that we refer to, when you say Atzilus, we mean the Oir as it is giving its presence outside of the Yetzer, without taking into an account of the Yetzer. Because the Oir, the initial Oir, the term Oir, is a term that refers to the Etzem, essentially. Etzem has Oir, as we discussed at great length. It's not the presence of Oir, it's the presence of the Etzem. But Etzem, in its fullest grandeur, has Oir. You understand the point?
Mm-hmm.
Oir, Atzilus, is referring to the Oir as a Oir presence, not as an Etzem presence. And therefore, in terms of how we define it, is galus Oir Chutz Li'atzmusei. It means Chutz Li'atzmusei, without taking account, without recognizing the Etzem, recognizing the presence of Oir as an oil presence, not as a etzem presence. Because we discussed in great length that oil and etzem go hand in hand. Etzem has oil. But then there is a tzimtzum. That's what we'll see in a moment. And then for Atzilus means like Atzilus, like the Demosh over here. Atzilus ruchi shel Moshe. Atzilus ruchi shel Moshe. Al Ayin Kenim. That ruchi shel Moshe has been bestowed upon the Ayin Kenim. They got their influence from ruchi shel Moshe, not from the essence of what Moshe had. Let me maybe elaborate on this a little bit more. Moshe Rabbeinu, when he came down from the mountain after Luchei Shniyos, it says that his face shone, and the shine was so intense that the people, Ayin was hesitant to approach him. Ayin was hesitant to approach him. That's what the stage of Moshe at that point. Moshe wasn't even aware of it. Moshe lo yoda. Moshe said, Moshe lo yoda yikorei pada. Moshe didn't know. How can you not know there's such a shine and you don't know? Because he had the essence of that shine. The etzem, the shine was not an add-on to Moshe. This was what Moshe is. He had truly a godly presence, and therefore he shone like a sun. He wasn't even aware of it. And then there was Atzilus Ruchi Shel Moshe. Atzilus Ruchi Shel Moshe means the Zikanim did not get that essence of Moshe. They got the effect of Moshe's essence, which is the oyer Shel Moshe. Perhaps it would be even more clear if we said the following. The Ruach, the Oyer, is like Oyer HaSeichel. And Oyer HaSeichel emanates from the Rotzen. Rotzen HaNefesh, as we speak all the time. Rotzoin you cannot bestow upon somebody. The Oyer HaSeichel you can. You can present the Oyer HaSeichel. As a matter of fact, as we said before, that the Rav actually gives from Guf the Oyer HaSeichel. Okay, so Atzilus is recognizing the oil without the etzem. We know that the oil comes from the etzem, but you are not capable to relate to the etzem. You're capable to relate only to the oil, and only the oil is recognizable. This is the pshat. It is galus min ruchi. And now, at the end, in the middle of that line, the line begins with B'chinas Yitziv is Galus Min Shel Moshe. V'hainu, which means to say, the Yikor Inyan Ho'atzilus Hu, that the principal Inyan of Atzilus is B'chinas Yis Galus Ho'oir Al Yidei HaTzimtzum. It is his B'chinas his galus ha'oir, the element of the aspect of his galus ha'oir, of identifying the oir that which the tzimtzum enables to be misgala. Like, for example, in our, he's going to speak about it in our experience, we always speak about the sun. There is the essence of the sun. And then there is the sunlight that we are benefiting in darkness. To recognize that sunlight illuminates, you first have to have darkness. The darkness identifies that aspect of light, of the sunlight. Without the darkness, in the sun itself, that aspect of sunlight is not recognized, not identified. And the Alter Rebbe says, let's a few more words in here, okay? The ha'oyer k'meishu hu kol be'atzmusoi, where the oyer, as it is, in the I want to explain the word, the expression k'meishu hu kol be'atzmusoi. I'm constantly actually making that emphasis, but I don't know if we get. This is not just a question of where the oil is. The oil, when it is in Atzmus, and the oil outside of the Etzem. It is that the oil outside of the Etzem is a different aspect of the oil is recognized. Like we said just now, that the sun, that the light of the sun, as we get it, is a different aspect of the oil Hashemesh that we recognize than that which the Shemesh identifies with. The Shemesh does not identify with the element of illuminating darkness. We identify it. It's a different aspect of the oil. And this is what he says, oyer, k'moishe hu kol b'atzmusoi, means not when it's so much, but the oyer, the essence of the oyer that is recognizable as being, while it is kol b'atzmusoi, it's a different kind of oyer, different essence of oyer. Harei hu b'bchinas bittul b'tachlis. There the oyer is in total bittul. What does it mean it's total bittul? Because there the oil is part and parcel of the etzem. It's etzem. Ukmoi oil hashemesh b'shemesh. Like the oil hashemesh b'shemesh inside the sun. So the Alter Rebbe speaks about this. Oil hashemesh b'shemesh. And he says there that exactly this point that we made just now, that the oil hashemesh b'shemesh inside the shemesh also essentially has, the oil has the element that it can illuminate. But that aspect that it can illuminate is totally bottled, totally unrecognizable. It's as if it doesn't exist. Why? Because it's inside the Shemesh itself. And therefore that aspect of the oil is is bottled.
Because
it's as if it didn't exist. What?
Because it's inside the Shemesh, it cannot illuminate. Is that what you're saying?
Because it's in Shemesh, the illumination aspect of the oil is non-significant. We can think of it in the following way. The illumination of oil, in order for it to illuminate, it illuminates, like we say, millions of miles. It illuminates space, whatever space that there is. Now, the Shemesh itself also occupies space. Shemesh itself is also, I don't remember what they said, millions of miles in diameter. So that space, per se, can be illuminated by the Oyer HaShemesh. But when the Shemesh is in that particular space, then illumination of that space is null and void. Doesn't have any presence. Why? Because the Shemesh itself is there. And therefore that space at this time is not space. It's not dark. Can illuminate. Therefore the oyer within the Shemesh does not have the illumination element. Not that it doesn't have it. It is both. וגם הוא בבחינת עילוי ביוסר. And then furthermore, it is bottled because it has no function. And then also, it is b'chinas ilui b'yoser. It is in a very high level. Ilui. And it's a supreme level.
Is the reason why it's batal because there's no environment, or because of some kind of mila of the etzem over there? Or that's both the same thing? In other words, the etzem transforms
because of the
space.
Of the oyer, of the Shemesh.
The etzem of the Shemesh transforms the space into light through and through.
Right.
And therefore there's nothing to illuminate.
Therefore, right, there's nothing to illuminate. Correct. But like we should recognize, it's not only that it is not needed functionally.
Right, okay.
But that the state of that space is the illumination state of that space is much higher than the illumination that the oil can provide.
That space becomes etzem.
Etzem light.
Light, therefore, is totally insignificant.
Therefore, you can. It's a much higher state of light than the light that the oil can provide.
That's etzem ha'or. What's going on in that space?
It's etzem ha'mo'ir. Guv ha'shemesh.
Right.
As we speak all the time, that the union of oil is attesting to the fact that there's an etzem. Why is there oil HaShemesh? Because the Shemesh is etzem oil, not etzem ha'oil. It's atzmi for oil. It's an atzmi. You know what I'm saying? Shemesh is not oil to illuminate. Shemesh does not illuminate. Shemesh transforms or eliminates darkness.
But the R within the etzem is the equivalent of the etzem knowing itself, right?
Right.
But okay. And we did say by a person though that just being is not enough. In other words, it's not. There's a very big significance in the knowing himself. So.
Correct. Okay. So the thing is that Shemesh does not in essence the way we observe the Shemesh does not contain that type of significance of knowing itself. Oyer HaShemesh to the Shemesh, the fact that the Shemesh has oyer is not at all significant to the Shemesh. Not like a human being who is an atzmi. Shemesh is a luminary. Shemesh has a limited functionality. Not like a human being who has an essential presence. Shemesh was created for whatever function it provides. Human being was not created for a function. That's why human being has that knowledge. Yeah, look, knowing an essence that is superior to functionality. It's a real significant. Knowing the Shemesh is not significant to the Shemesh.
This part about the space being illuminated by the sun when it's in that space, and that space is now like expressing the essence knowing itself. That doesn't really fit the nimshal, does it? Because the essence doesn't take up space. That's like the real Etzem.
Right. No, it's not a good. It's not the. The muscle of the sun is only light versus light. It's not the muscle that the sun is an atzmi. In the absolute sense of the word. It has a function. Absolutely. Okay, so this is the oir that is b'toich ha'etzem. Kol be'atzmus. There the oir is bottled b'tachlis, and it's in a much superior manner, as in the muscle of the sun. Achar ha'tzimtzum. Then after the tzimtzum, yorad mimadrigosei. Then the oir steps down from its initial true madrega, where it is actually one representative of an etzem. It steps down from its madrega. And thus, then it is b'bchinas mitzius. It has a quality of mitzius. What's mean quality of mitzius? It has a functionality, a functional identity. What's meant to mitzius? Etzem is not functional. The oil hakol be'atzmusei is not functional. The achar tzimtzum, it is functional. Because now it has the effect, it brings the effect of the etzem, achar tzimtzum, where the etzem is not.
And that has to be functional.
That is functional.
It could not just represent etzem. It has to serve a purpose. Or you're saying the representation itself is a function?
How does it represent the etzem?
So that's
By bringing down its function, functionally. It represents the etzem functionally.
by serving some practical purpose in the world, or just by means of.
There's a melech. So when you're in the palace of the melech, in front of the melech, there is only the melech. When you're outside the palace, you have the melech's will and the melech's commands, and various ways that the melech's honor is being represented. That's a functionality. That's a functional element.
If he decrees something, then it's very specifically functional. But if, like, let's say one of his special honor god walked past, so then it doesn't. It just represents
It's
him.
still representing his honor.
Oh, and that's the function. That's the function
It's
right
all
there.
functional. The decor of the palace, the cleanliness and the setup and the furnishings, all that. This is all the functional element of the king. So recognizing that this is a palace of the king. This is not the essence of the king. Okay, let's. And this is the pshat that the oir acharat tzimtzum yored min dargos arim b'mchinas mitzius. Then it is b'bchinas mitzius. Again, what's it b'bchinas mitzius? It has a functional element. It has a statement. And this statement is what gives it a presence. If not for the statement, it doesn't have an essential presence.
After the Tzimtzum. This is
Right.
the aura is making a statement.
Right, because then there is no etzem.
So it's pointing to that. It's saying
It's pointing, it's giving the functional element of the etzem.
That makes sense.
Let me just say, a human being has seichel. What is the ultimate presence? What is the value of seichel? Seichel is the functional element of the nefesh.
Function of the nefesh.
Seichel is when one understands, it gives a person the understanding of like common sense. What's common sense? Seichel anushi. Seichel anushi is to understand how is appropriate for a human being to behave. The Seichel does not create that appropriation. It creates its own reflection. It reveals that human quality. The fact that the human being is a human being, that is true to the nefesh. Seichel is a functional aspect of it. I cannot capture the whole atom. It presents it on a functional level where it is. We come into a physical world, which is not human, and here makes it human by treating the physical world in a manner that is suitable for the human being. Okay, so this is it for this morning, and meet him tonight at 679, approximately 8:30. We'll reconvene. Have a good day. Thanks a lot.